A deadly fire at an immigration processing center in Ciudad Juarez is putting new focus on the danger facing migrants trying to enter the United States. At least 39 people died. Many were asylum seekers held in a locked cell as the flames spread. Mexican authorities say 6 people faced criminal charges after the fire, including some workers at the facility. Just 2 days after the deadly fire, a large group of migrants crossed the border illegally into El Paso. The Border Patrol sector chief said close to 1,000 migrants surrendered to agents. Border Patrol is working to expel them from the country. Reporter Shelby Capp found that many who crossed received false information that they'd be allowed to stay.
Here you can see the groups of migrants walking along the border, saying they heard they would be able to cross into the United States.
They're letting people in. Venezuelans through gate 36. We're all heading over there.
They could be seen crossing the border and going up to the fence where agents were.
People that have crossed through, we're trying everything possible to be able to cross. It's our goal.
Border Patrol says hundreds, mostly from Venezuela, surrendered themselves to agents after making illegal entry, but says Title 42 is still in place and migrants from certain countries, including Venezuela, are still subject to expulsion.
Border Patrol here in El Paso, we are still operating under the CDC's Title 42 authority. Those migrants that are not amenable to Title 42 will be processed accordingly, and those with no legal basis to remain in the United States legally will be placed into removal proceedings.
Our crews in Juarez reported seeing migrants leave and head towards the border from the memorial that was set up outside of the Juarez immigration facility, where close to 40 migrants were killed in a fire. Now, the Diocesan Migrant and Refugee Services says migrants in Juarez are getting desperate.
When you have family members and friends who have been waiting months to try to seek asylum, who have been processed, have gone through the process of going through CBP-1 and trying to await an appointment, and they continue to have doors slammed in their faces. I think the desperation sets in.
That was Shelby Capp reporting. Earlier in March, a large group of migrants was turned back when they attempted to make a mass crossing into El Paso. On Tuesday, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas faced tough questions on Capitol Hill over border policy. Some of the most heated exchanges came from Texas Republicans. As Washington correspondent Anna Wernicke reports, he's facing new calls to resign.
Mr. Secretary, I want to say to you right now, your behavior is disgraceful.
Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz didn't hold back Tuesday as he grilled Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas about the ongoing situation at the southern border.
If you had integrity, you would resign.
Illinois Democrat Dick Durbin gave the secretary a chance to respond.
What the senator said was revolting. I'm not going to address it.
Your refusal to do your job is revolting.
The heated exchange was just one of many, with Republicans who blamed the Biden administration for the influx of migrants and fentanyl at the southern border.
You should be fired, but you haven't been fired because you were carrying out the policies of the Biden administration.
At a House hearing Wednesday, Mayorkas defended the administration, saying that the president's proposed budget includes critical resources needed to prevent illegal border crossings.
We are very focused on filling the positions of the Border Patrol.
But Iowa Republican Congresswoman Ashley Hinson says that won't be enough.
The CBP chief is saying that you need 22,000 agents total to counter the crisis. That's a total of 3,000 more agents. This request only provides for 350 more.
And Texas Democrat Henry Cuellar says every dollar Congress approves needs to be maximized.
I just want to make sure that we put the focus and the monies where we need to look at and look at not 14th century solutions, but 21st century solutions.
Anna Wernicke for State of Texas.
State and national leaders are warning about what they call a zombie drug. Its real name is Xylazine. The Drug Enforcement Agency says it's even more dangerous than fentanyl because there is no antidote. Our Ryan Chandler sat down with a DEA Special Agent in Austin to find out how concerned you need to be.
It's a deadly, skin-rotting zombie drug.
Fearful warnings from Congress to the state capitol.
It can really depress someone's heart rate, depress their breathing, knock them out.
A veterinary tranquilizer, the DEA warns, is making illicit drugs even more dangerous and spreading across Texas.
I can't go into the specifics about it, but we are seeing that xylazine is being used with fentanyl and other controlled substances and some of those individuals have passed away.
But the DEA couldn't provide specific data.
Just so Texans have an idea of how concerned they need to be, though, is this in the tens, the hundreds, the thousands?
I don't know if we can actually honestly answer that question for you. I mean, we are seeing it, we know it's here, and we're trying to address it.
The Texas Department of State Health Services first announced it detected xylazine in West Texas. The DEA now says it's in Austin, and xylazine deaths are up more than 1,100% throughout the South since 2021. But State Health Services points to 4 deaths as of last week. Hodges worries it will become a statewide problem soon, and they're calling for federal action to stop it.
It's still regulated under the Food and Drug Administration, and we're working with the FDA to try to get it regulated.
What would it mean if it is listed as a controlled substance for the DEA? Would that give you more enforcement authority or more funding to address it? What does that mean?
Yeah, actually, well, both. First of all, we'll get the funding that we need to address the issue, but more importantly, it'll give us the statutory authority to make arrests and do investigations.
Ryan Chandler, State of Texas.
Senator Schumer is calling on Congress to increase funding for the DEA's drug diversion teams, as well as more money for the Substance Use and Mental Health Services Administration. We've told you about efforts to make temporary license plates harder to counterfeit, but some lawmakers say the results are falling short.
Within 1 hour of DMV's brand new, updated, new and improved paper tags that they put out last fall, within 1 hour, we had a copy on our desk of a fake paper tag.
Now we look at the alternative proposal to replace these paper tags.